Hello everybody. If you know me personally, you know I used to simp deep for Polish stuff. So today I will show you all of my epic loadouts, so stay tuned.
Matka mówiła, bym rzucił to wszystko, co mi tu tylko banknot zjada. W rodzinie nie ma miejsca dla darmo zjada. Filip był niepokorny, olał kulturę. Jeżeli mnie skreśliłeś, mordo, kurwa współczuję. Więcej hejterów terenu polelu nie sprawi, że będziesz gościem na scenie. Mam ich na celu, podaj barometr, bo przed pieprzeniem mi rośnie ciśnienie. Masz Katahama, Fata Morgana, to ich pieniądze, co mają w Stanach. Czuję się jak w Konstancji, bo palą Jana. Ich rap jest jak Aikido, dać ci porównanie. Tak kiepsko podchodzi, że kończy się rzucaniem. Mam wybuchowe grono, choć każdy z nas się wzbrania. Nasz ulubiony kolor to kurwa granat.
So like I said, I've been interested in Polish stuff like camouflage, military and culture for quite a time. And today I want to show you a collection of my stuff in Polish camouflage, something I'm quite proud to show you. First I will show you my Polish 6 Paratrooper Brigade loadout with slight variation in terms of direct action, recon, summer and winter version, and lastly the desert version. After that my JW AGAT/Neil inspired loadout. After that my JWK inspired loadout, and last but not least the latest piece of Polish camouflage released, Mapa. So first my Paratrooper loadout. Why is this loadout special to me? Because some of these pieces I bought during a vacation in 2019 in Krakow, Poland, in a small military surplus shop whose store owner actually spoke German. And Krakow is also a location where the Polish 6th Airborne is stationed. Let's get to the loadout. First, the weapons. For my Paratrooper loadout, I like to use my G&G RK-47E, which is basically an Alpha AK which bears some resemblance to the Polish WZ-93 Beryl rifle. However, since the Polish army is in the process of phasing out the Beryl and replacing it with the MSBS Grot, a mixture between the AR and ACR platform, I just get sloppy sometimes in using M4. And as far as I can tell, Polish infantry personnel have more freedom in terms of painting their weapons compared to other countries. Now to the uniforms. I'm lucky enough to have mostly original Polish uniforms to show you. First is the WZ 2010 uniform cut in the summer version. In my opinion, for a standard issue uniform, this is a very modern, streamlined and good looking uniform. This uniform features a very thin, comfortable and breathable fabric and ventilation mesh beneath the shoulders. Very organizable cargo pockets, and a big plus for me, adjustable knee pad pockets. If it gets any hotter, I'll replace the shirt with a combat shirt by Black Mountain Tactical. And for WZ-93, a matching neck gaiter is a no-brainer. Next, my desert uniform. Apparently I wasn't able to get original Polish desert camouflage, which is why I wear the Helicontext Combat Patrol uniform in Polish desert, and I was lucky enough to get the discontinued combat shirt in the same pattern. About 5 years ago I made a review about this uniform, and since then this uniform has been heavily modified. I've overworked the upper arm pockets on both the field and combat shirt, and I modified the pants as well by adding Canadian style solid buttons to the cargo pockets, moving the lower leg pockets to above the knees, and I slightly enlarged the knee pad pocket because I treat my knees with respect. And last but not least, something that is not used in the Polish army, at least not on a large scale, is the Mapa camouflage uniform. It's a very unique and extraordinary camouflage, which this uniform uses a very thin and comfortable fabric. I like to finish these uniforms off with matching patches of the 6 Paratroopers Brigade, the full collar patch I bought in Krakow, and the subdued one was given to me by a Polish paratrooper of that said unit. And of course, to fit the uniforms, I also made fitting helmet covers for both my MIG 2000 and my Aubry-Carlson helmet. When it comes to helmets, the most accurate helmet to get is the Polish WZ 2000 composite helmet, which looks a lot like the AGAT helmet. However, the Polish paratroopers have mostly replaced this helmet with their own version of the MIG 2000 with a Team Wendy style suspension system. However, as this helmet is nearly or almost completely impossible to get, a MIG 2000 is the next best thing, as I've seen a lot of infantrymen use MIG helmets with matching helmet covers. Aubry-Carlson helmets are also sometimes seen in use, however mostly with solid green helmet covers, with WZ-93 helmet covers making only sporadic appearances. Now to the direct action kit. It usually looks like this, with my self-made plate carrier and WZ-93 woodland camouflage, with Templar gear mag pouches, a Helicontext multi-purpose pouch, a Curray hydration pouch and a self-made radio pouch. And of course, patches that look the part. Like I said, this is what I like to wear for direct action stuff. However, there are also events where I take on more of a recce/survivalist role, in which my lightweight recce loadout comes out to shine. Uniform stays the same, however for enhanced capacity and insulation, it can be paired with a Helicon Text PCS parka. I modified it by cutting into the back to enhance freedom of movement, and I added 2 more cargo pockets. I used this parka on many backpacking and camping trips and it never failed me. It has a lot of pockets and thick fabric for good insulation, and the greatest feature of all, fleece-lined dip pockets on the front, something that puts a smile on every infantryman's heart. Now for the load bearing system. I love to use the Templars Gear PT1 patrol belt with the 4-point suspenders. It allows me to pack a lot of kilograms if I have to, while still keeping it stable and comfortable. I taped off the shoulders to make aiming my rifle easier, as the shoulder padding is very thick and kind of obstructive. The pouches for the most part are made by GFC Tactical. It's a Polish brand that makes very affordable tactical gear, however despite its affordable nature, I've seen quite a few Polish infantrymen use this stuff. And to be honest, the quality itself isn't even that bad. So I decided to go for it, as GFC offered a wide variety of different pouches. On the left side I keep 3 GFC AK double mag pouches. I usually occupy 1 slot for my radio, while the rest holds either M4 or AK mags. Next to it is a GFC general purpose pouch. What I keep in there is mission dependent, either a poncho, rations, etc. Next to it a Helicon E&E pouch, which I use to keep things like extra batteries, multi-tools, headlamp, and many other things depending on what I need. Then comes a Neptune Spear large bottle pouch, where I can fit water bottles up to 1 liter, because you can almost never carry too much water. And the GFC admin pouch, which I like to use for smaller general purpose items like maps, notebooks and so on. Depending on the environment and the duration of the mission, I can choose between 2 backpacks. One is a smaller GFC backpack with only about 10 to 15 liters, with the ability to carry a helmet, which I would use as a very light day pack. And second is a 55 liter backpack made by WeSport. I use this backpack on all my hiking and camping trips as well, and it never failed me. If I go to an event that requires me to bring my sleep gear, I bring one of my original Polish Army issue sleeping bags, one for winter and the other for summer. I slept many nights outdoors with these and I'm very happy with them, especially the winter bag. Right now I'm unpacking the summer sleeping bag. Both sleeping bags are lanyarded to their compression bag and feature a breakaway zipper, which is extremely important for military use because it allows you to get up and leave very quickly. The summer sleeping bag also has a mosquito net, which is supposed to be pulled over your head to your shoulders. To go with my sleep system, I also use my Polish Army issue sleeping pad, which is very thick, which makes it very comfortable to sleep on, however is very obstructive to carry around. A poncho and a tarp, both from Helicon Text in the same color to keep me protected from the elements. And of course, something that no recce loadout is complete without, a nice and comfortable boonie hat made by Helicon Text with the ability to add on foliage for enhanced camouflage. I use this loadout in both CQB and outdoor games and I'm very happy with it. It distributes the weight across my hips very well and allows me to keep a low profile while moving through thick foliage and difficult ground under my feet. Now for my desert combat uniform. For direct action, I've made a plate carrier and pouches in that camouflage pattern in which I was lucky enough to get some Cordura in. So the plate carrier looks almost the same as the one in VZ93, with the pouches being in somewhat standard design with the Mali all over it. Say if I'm in a desert environment or a snowy environment where I'm more likely to wear desert camouflage, I had to go for a recce loadout, I would just wear my VZ93 webbing over it. But say if I want to go for a Tachanka look, I can just wear my American Sniper inspired vest underneath it. The Lord has arrived on the battlefield if you see me wearing this. Now this is it for the infantry/parachute infantry loadouts. However, this video is not over yet, because now we will get to my JW AGAT loadout. Now what is a JW AGAT? It's basically the Polish equivalent of the US Army Rangers. For weapons, in almost all of the SF units in the Polish Special Forces branch is the HK416, except for the Naval Special Forces unit for Morza, which uses the G36 platform. So for the uniforms we have 2 options. One is the VZ93 uniform, or 2 Camogrom or Suez. Camogrom is the Polish licensed version of multicam. The uniform cut, however, is called Suez. I was lucky enough to get an original field shirt, which is made in a very unique design. First, the Velcro. On older models the Velcro is still in olive green. However, on newer uniforms, the green has been replaced by coyote brown. If you look at the front and feel like you have seen this design before, it's because this is inspired by the British combat jacket design of pockets, with 2 chest pockets with buttons and 2 separate zippered pockets. Sadly, I wasn't able to get the original pants with this, which is why I wear Arctis Ranger pants in British MTP. Now to the helmet. I've seen AGAT operators use MIG 2000 tool helmets for quite a while, until they started phasing in Ops-Core helmets. However, I like to use the MIG 2002 simply because it's so unique. Body armor vests. You can see AGAT operators and also other operators in the early days wearing Sport plate carriers, which were basically Eagle lookalikes, until they switched to multicam plate carriers manufactured by Kurehí. Kurehí is basically Crye Precision next to Direct Action. They supply the Polish Special Forces with their uniforms and gear. In my case, I like to wear my self-made plate carrier in MTP, which was already featured in my French Army soft loadout. Now let's get to the last loadout, which is the most high speed but not the most unique of loadouts. My JWK loadout. JWK is basically the Polish Green Beret equivalent. The uniforms that JWK uses are Kurehí combat uniforms in either ATEX FG, AU and multicam, but they also make use of Crye Precision. Personally, I didn't want to spend the money on a legit Kurehí uniform yet, as they are expensive as fuck. I like to use the Invader Gear Predator shirt, which is basically a Crye field shirt copy, and my Revenger TDU pants, which is basically a ACU cut, but I modded it the same way as my Polish Desert CPU pants. In hotter temperatures, I ditched the field top and used the Invader Gear combat shirt. The helmet is an Ops-Core style copy with a matching helmet cover that I made myself. Now, the most interesting, the plate carrier. On this and many other loadouts I use, I love to wear my Direct Action Spitfire Mark I plate carrier. I've made a review about this thing about 6 years ago. And since then, this thing has been put to very good use. Not only by me, but many other Polish SF guys, which implies that Direct Action supplies the Polish SF community with their plate carriers, chest rigs, and partially combat uniforms. And I've seen plenty of guys from other nations utilize Direct Action gear. Myself, I use their carbine sling, gloves and backpack for military service. Maybe in the near future, I'll get some ATEX FG Cordura and make a matching plate carrier to this, but as of now, the Spitfire keeps its place. So, this is it for this video. I've wanted to make this video for a very long time. Like literally all these pictures I just showed you, I had them for over 3 years in my Dropbox. I hope I was somewhat able to entertain you guys and maybe inspire you to pursue making a unique loadout yourself. If you have any questions and or critiques about my loadout, feel free to comment down below. My name is ICORFIELD and I'm out. Adios.